Hi there, and welcome to my tutorial on how to do card authorship for Dominion Linux. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to the gimp.org and download the image manipulation program. It's similar to Photoshop. It's free, open source, cross-platform, and now will be able to handle the file that I'm using. So the second thing after that, you're going to need to go to Dominion Linux project page. Just as an aside, you're free to join the team if you wish, but if you don't and you'd rather just do this sort of informally, I have no problem with that as well. So uh, go to the Dominion Linux project page, and you're going to need to download the actual template. So you click on code, and you browse the source code, and the file should be right at the bottom here. It should be labeled template.xcf, and you give a click here, and you click on download the file. So once that's done, you're going to need to go to the Dominion Linux spreadsheet, and this basically keeps track of who's authored a card and the various parameters that you're going to need to put on the card, such as the description, the name, that sort of thing. So open up your program and open up the XCF, and we'll and then what you want to do is you want to actually open up the layers toolbar. So I believe that you can actually just find it in Windows. I don't know. You can find it somewhere. It should actually be up there by default, so it won't be so it'll probably be there when you come. So, anyways, back on track. So the principle behind authoring a card is very simple, because all you need to do is you need to start at the top of the layers and go down. And as you go down, you need to choose whether this element needs to be on the card or not. So the card name, for example, obviously is going to need to be on the card. So you'll click the little eyeball down there. I'm just going to enable that template so everything's easy to read. But you can disable it, enable it, disable it, enable it. Yes. So so as you go down there. So and as you're doing that, so we'll just go back to here. So as you saw, that card title that I had there was Hovel. I'll just go find Hovel in here, and we'll create this card just as an example. So Hovel, reaction shelter, $1. This description here, reaction shelter, action default, and those fall under the border canvas and divider, which I'll show you in just a second. So card name. Yes, we have that. That works. Do we want a separator? No, we don't. Do we want a card description? Yes, we do. So you basically write the description here. If you can, try to reword it in your own wording, just so we don't step on Rio Grande's toes. I don't believe that should be a contentious issue. Copying artwork is one thing, but copying sentences or the names, that's totally fine. So. And now, so we got the card description. Now we want to actually go down to card author. And this is something that I'll show you right now. So as you can see here, it says Akiva Abraham II. Akiva Abraham is my name. And what you want to basically do here is, depending on which version of this card this is, you basically want to write down your name, and then you'll write down the version. So for example, I've already authored this card. Because I was the first author, I'll be naming it Akiva Abraham and then a Roman numeral for 1. If you came in here and you wanted to re-author it, you go John Smith. And then when you come back to here, you'll just go John Smith, and then you'll write II, so John Smith II. So that's kind of a cute way to keep track of the card versioning and the authors of that. So that's pretty straightforward. Now we want to go down to card cost. One is the cost of the Hovel. So after that, we'll go down to the card type, and depending on what card that you have, most cards will only have 1 or 2 types, and so you just enable this first one. If there is a card out there that has 3 or 4 types, there are a few. Most of them are knights, but you'll basically disable this one and you enable this one. And basically, the only difference between these ones is the font size. So choose your fonts. Reaction shelter. Yep, that's basically what we want here. And to separate this, we actually use a tilde, not a dash. Alright, and we'll go down to any victory value. No, we don't need that. Coin value. No, we don't need that. All these here are icons that we use for sort of the main cards, but we don't need any of these either. So, if just a side note, if you do have the inkling, like for example, look at this. This is a very awful version of the victory card template. It's just something I threw together. If you can make a better one, I'll be more than happy to include it and throw this one out. The only one I'm actually really happy about is the potion one, and that's one I made. So we go down, potion icon. If it costs a potion, you just enable that. Now we need to figure out, okay, it says reaction and shelter. So we have the border here. We have a bunch of layers which are labeled border, and then we want to figure out which border to give it. So the problem that will arise often is that what if we have like a card that's an action and an attack? So which border do we enable? So that's where the spreadsheet comes in handy, and we'll just go to it right now. So as you can see right here, it says border. Well, we want to choose reaction, and then for the canvas, we want to choose shelter, and then for the divider, we want to choose default. So we'll just go back, and that's what we're going to do. So action is supposed to be reaction. And we'll move down to the next section. Divider is supposed to be default. And we'll go down to the last one, and the canvas is supposed to be shelter. Now all we need is a picture. So the pictures, the theme that I've been sticking with, and which I think is the best way to do this, is to basically go to what's it called? Wikipaintings.org. So this is sort of a repository for oil paintings. And let's just search for, I don't know, tower or something like that, right? Because I'm sure there's a Dominion card in there called tower. And we'll find a nice old photo here. Something probably from the 1800s or maybe 1700s, that sort of thing. This one looks interesting. So you know, click on this one. Excuse me. We would click on this one right here, and then we'll check. You see, it says this artwork is in the public domain. So that means that we can use it, and we don't have to worry about it. We will basically copy and paste, and we'll throw that into our file here. So I've been sticking with oil paintings because, like I said, it's public domain. It's nothing to worry about, and it kind of has like a nice nice theme to it. There's definitely quite a few cards from Rio Grande that I really distaste. Like for example, Heron, Dominion. If I recall, yeah, look at this. It's just an absolutely ugly card. I mean, you could draw this. It looks like it's drawn by a cartoonist. On the other hand, I can actually show you my version of the Heron, one which I thought was much better. I'll show you in a second here. And there's this one. There's actually a little mistake down here. It's supposed to be Victory Treasure, but as you can see, you know, that's like a real picture of Heron. You know, there's actually quite a few. I just kind of chose the first one that came to mind there, but you know, that's sort of like a to me it's a little bit more meaningful. To me it kind of sticks more with a unified theme, and I quite like it. So in our case, we'll just go back to here. We chose a hovel. So I actually searched wiki paintings and I looked for a image called the hovel, and that's one I chose. And maybe I want to do a little bit of enhancements to it. Let's just check here. Brightness, contrast. We can probably increase the contrast. Make it a little bit Maybe we need to actually make it darker. Yeah, I don't think that one can actually use it. But so a lot of these, the reason why I sort of say that is a lot of these images are very grainy. For example, this one had a lot of contrast applied to it because the painting's from 1700, right? So it's obviously got lots of dust on it. So you just need to do a little bit of enhancement on it. So here's the hovel, and there's a picture of a man with his little hut there, and it's quite appropriate. And yeah, after that, you go File, Export, and then you export it to cards, and you name it by the card name. So this one will be called hovel.png. Stick with portable networks graphics. Don't give me any JPEGs. Go export. And there we have it. We're done. So yeah, and that's basically how you author a new card. How you get that card to me, I'll leave that up to you. Like I said, the most ideal way is to join the Dominion Linux team so that you'll have an ability to just do that from your own comfort and you won't have to bother anyone. Not that I would be bothered if you did send it in anyways, but yeah. So that's basically my cue to stop talking. Thanks for all your moral support. I've been having a ton of fun doing this, and yeah, I really do hope that a lot of people will come and start helping contribute with this project a little bit more, especially in the area of graphics. Right, there's actually one thing that I did forget to mention. If anyone wants to do a little bit of work on the template itself, I spoke about unified themes here, but as you can see, this theme isn't terribly unified. If you look at this blue, this is a very sort of water washed blue, sort of faded washed blue. Whereas if you compare that to the border, the attack border, that's a very bold red, right? So you have washed out blues and bold reds. That's not a very unifying theme. So I need someone to come in here and just sort of do all those touch ups. Anyone who has like kind of an eye for that sort of thing, I just kind of whipped this together because I was trying to get things done. So if anyone wants to help with that, the template itself, that'll be just an amazing, amazing help to me. So yeah, I believe that's it.